Hello, my name is Nancy Viehmann, and I'm going to be reading a story called Snowmama from a book called Christmas Days, 12 Stories and 12 Feasts for 12 Days by Jeanette Winterson. And I'm going to abridge it a bit and end it early, but I will tell you when. Okay, the Snowmama. It is snowing. In the English language, we do not know anything about the it, that it is snowing. It might be God, maybe not. Anyway, it is snowing. What kind of snow? There are many kinds of snow. Did you know that? There's mountain snow and polar snow and ski snow and deep snow and snow in flutters like tiny moths and snow in flurries like moths in a hurry, and snow in flakes like someone, it is grating the sky, and snow sharp as insect bites, and snow as soft as lather, and wet snow that doesn't stick, and dry snow that does, and wraps around the world like an installation to the point in the night where you wake up and the sound is gone, to the point in the night where you turn deeper into the bed, to the point in the night where there's snow in your sleep and your sleep is as deep as snow. Then, open the curtains, now! Wow! Snow on snow on snow on snow on snow. Deep enough for the dog to disappear, ears reappearing like wings. Cars are mounds. Sounds are children excitingly. Let's build a snowman. Nicky and Jerry started rolling the snowball bigger and bigger and rounder and rounder. Soon they had a body bigger than either of them. Do you think she's too fat? Said Nicky. How do you know she's a she? Well, I don't until we put the clothes on her. But you keep calling her her because she's fat. How do you make a thin snowman? They tried. They rolled a pole of snow and stood it up, and when they put the head on the pole, it fell down. Nicky wasn't impressed. She pulled a face. She said, "We can make her a bit more pyramid-y. Give her a neck or something. A fat neck is not a good look." Jerry didn't want to make a pyramid snowman. She said, "Snow people are all fat. It's like what they have to be to keep them warm." Nicky thought this was stupid. If they warm up, they melt. Warm on the inside, stupid. Come on, Nicky, help me roll her head. Nicky's mom came out with 2 mugs of hot chocolate. Hey, he's great. He's a she. Have we got any clothes for her? Sure, go and see what's in the charity box. Nicky ran inside, leaving her chocolate to steam. Nicky's mom was attractive. She was slim, with hair colored 3 kinds of blonde. She smiled at Jerry. She had good teeth. How's your mom, Jerry? Is she okay? Jerry nodded. Her mom had to work hard, and she had to work nights at a hotel. Sometimes she drank too much and passed out. Jerry's dad had left them last year just before Christmas, and he hadn't come back. Nicky's mom shifted her weight, which wasn't a lot, from foot to foot. Why don't you sleep over tonight? Nicky would love that. I'll ask, said Jerry. You can call, said Nicky's mom, but Jerry couldn't call because her mom's phone had been cut off. But she didn't want to say that. Instead, she said, I'll run over later and ask. Nicky came back with an armful of clothes. They tried a sweater, a hoodie, a dress with buttons, but nothing fit. This is like Cinderella, said Jerry. You mean she's the ugly sister, said Nicky. She's the princess in disguise. Here, try this. The bobble hat fitted. She can go to a ball. In a bobble hat? Yeah. Well, she can't because she's got no legs. How about eyes? She needs eyes, but not buttons. No, not buttons. Give me your bracelet. Those green stones, they can be her eyes. Come on. What are you doing? That's my bracelet. But Jerry wasn't listening. She broke the bracelet and fixed the snow woman with great green staring eyes. She looks real now, said Nicky. "She needs a snow's," said Jerry, "or maybe a snout." Jerry forgot about Nicky. She made the snow woman a nose out of a pine cone and a mouth that was a big red smile. It was really the dog's throw hoop cut in half, but it looked like a big red smile. By now, Nicky was playing a game on her iPad. The afternoon was short and the day was cold. Soon it would be dark. Nicky's mom called out from the kitchen door, "Jerry, go and see your mother now if you're coming back later." Jerry ran off, promising the snow woman she would come right back. But when Jerry got home, her mother wasn't there. The house was dark. Sometimes the electricity got cut off, but when that happened, Jerry couldn't get in with the entry phone. She had to climb over the wall at the back and find the key behind the dustbins. That was what she did. But the key wasn't there, and the house was as dark at the back as it was in the front. "You looking for your ma?" asked Mr. Store, who ran the store that was called Store's Store. Jerry nodded. She didn't say anything. Mr. Store said, "Your ma's not here. Went out. Didn't come back. What's new?" Mr. Store was horrible. He had a horrible face and a horrible stare and a horrible pair of brown overalls that he always wore. Sometimes Jerry's mom asked him for milk or bread and to pay the next day. He always said no. Now he stuffed his horrible hands in the brown pockets of his horrible overalls and went inside. Jerry decided to wait a while and squeezed herself onto the front step, where she was out of the cold a little. She thought about the snow woman. She was at least 8 feet tall, bigger than anyone. When Jerry grew up, she hoped she'd be 8 feet tall. Then she'd show them. She'd show them who she was. Night fell. Why do we say that? Like night didn't mean to be here, but tripped over crossing the moon? The moon was bright. Everyone was coming home now, the day done, the night cold. The windows along the street lit up one by one. Jerry stood up to warm her limbs and walked up and down the street looking in through the windows where she could. People sitting down to eat, people watching TV, people moving from room to room, saying something, she couldn't hear what, their mouths opening and shutting like goldfish. There was a bird in a cage and an Alsatian living across the front door, willing it to open. All the houses had lights on now, except hers. Maybe her mother thought she was staying at Nicky's. Maybe she should go back there now. Jerry set off on the half-hour walk back to Nicky's house. It seemed later than it was. The quiet streets, no one driving. A black cat paced the length of a white wall. There was Nicky's house now, and the lights were on. Jerry broke into a run to reach the gate. But as she reached it, all the lights went out, just like that, and the house was as dark as hers. What time was it? The station wagon was on the drive. Jerry rubbed snow from the window and peeped in at the clock. 11:30? It couldn't be 11:30 at night. Jerry was suddenly scared and tired and not knowing the time, not knowing what to do. Maybe she could sleep in the shed. Jerry turned from the dark house to the garden, strangely lit and white and semi-shining because of the snow. The Snowmama was looking at her with 2 bright green jewel eyes. "I wish you were alive," said Jerry. "Alive what?" said the Snowmama. "A live cat? A live circus?" "Did you just speak?" said Jerry doubtfully. "I did," said the Snowmama. "Your mouth didn't move." "Well, that's the way you fixed it," said the Snowmama. "But you can hear me, can't you?" "Yes," said Jerry, "I can hear you. Are you really alive?" "Watch this," said the Snowmama, and skipped a bit sideways. "Not bad for no legs." "That's the way you fixed it, too." "I'm sorry," said Jerry, "I didn't know how to do legs." "Don't beat yourself up about things you can't change. You did your best. Anyway, I can glide. Come on, let's go for a glide." The Snowmama set off surprisingly fast for an object without legs, wheels, or an engine. Jerry ran to catch up. "I'd say hold my hand," said the Snowmama, "except you didn't fix me any hands." "Wait," said Jerry, "would you like 2 medium-sized garden forks?" "Well, that would be gracious," said the Snowmama. So Jerry fetched the garden forks, medium-sized, from the shed and shoved them firmly into the sides of the Snowmama. The Snowmama wiggled her shoulders a bit to get the right fit. Then, concentrating hard, she was able to flex the tines of the forks. "Hey, hey, hey! How do you do that?" said Jerry. "It's a mystery," said the Snowmama. "Do you know how you do things? Does anyone? I just did it, so let's go." "Where are we going?" "To find the others." Jerry and the Snowmama left the garden and set off down the road. The Snowmama was much faster than Jerry, who kept falling down. "Fish in the sea, that's me," said the Snowmama. "I'm in my element. Climb aboard. Just jump up and rest your feet in my tines." Soon the two of them were speeding down the street. Jerry held her feet in the cupped tines like they were stirrups, and she held on to either end of the Snowmama's scarf like they were reins. On they went, past the school and post office, or they were nearly past the post office when a little voice called out, "Wait for me!" The Snowmama slid to a halt. She said, "Who goes there?" On top of the mailbox, some kids had perched a little snowman with a paper hat on his head. "This is so boring," said the little snowman. "Take me with you." "Why are you speaking in capital letters?" said the Snowmama. "Don't you know it's bad manners to sleep in capital letters?" "I have no family," said the little snowman, "and I never went to school. Forgive me." "Well, come on," said the Snowmama. "Just hold on to my front as the back is occupied, and let's see what we can see." "Pleased to meet you, miss," yelled the little snowman to Jerry. Then he remembered that was not polite and whispered as quietly as he could, "Pleased to meet you, miss." On they went, past the garage and the factory and through the still, silent night under the rock diamond sky. They came to a city park. All day long the children had built snowmen, and now all the children had gone home, and all the snowmen were still there. They looked eerie in their brilliant white coats lit up by the brilliant white moon. Then Jerry saw that some of the snowmen were moving slowly toward the lake, where two of them were fishing. A child must have built these fishing snowmen, each with a rod and line made from a peeled stick and a length of twine. As Jerry, the Snowmama, and the little snowman came near the lake, one of the snowfishers turned and raised his pork pie hat in salute. "Welcome! This lake is full of snowfish. The snow girls are lighting a fire, and we hope you'll join us for a barbecue. Perfect weather." Right then his line bent and quivered, and for a minute he steered something invisible and strong back and forth under the water. Then with a deft flick of the line, a snowfish flew above the surface of the lake. It was more than a foot long, and its scales were made of snowflakes. "You only get them at this time of year," explained the snowfisher. "Too early, and they're frozen solid. Too late, and they melt like they were never there." "I've never seen a snowfish," said Jerry. "That's to be expected," said the snowfisher. "Most of us can only see the world we know." "Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy," yelled the little snowman. He was so excited he stood upside down on his head, and it came out backwards. "Ho-yob, ho-yob, 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 ho-yob." "Can he pipe down?" said the snowfisher. "He'll scare away the snowfish." The Snowmama grabbed the little snowman by his feet and took him over to where a group of snow sisters were piling together a wigwam of white frosted branches. They all wore earrings made out of red berries. "Y'all staying for the barbecue?" said one, taller than the rest. "She's human, right?" "Yes," said the Snowmama. "Her name is Jerry." "What about me?" shouted the little snowman. "Don't forget me." "Can I leave him with you?" said the Snowmama. "He needs some discipline. He can fetch branches for the fire." "Sure, come on, you little snow snuffing. Get to work. We'll teach him a thing or two." "I'm an orphan," yelled the little snowman. "I got special needs." "You surely shall have special needs when the sun shows up and melts you down," said a snow sister. "Now come on, move it." "Let's you and me take a tour," said the Snowmama to Jerry. "This is all new to you, I can see." "Isn't it new to you?" asked Jerry. I mean, I only made you this morning." "That's part of the mystery of history," said the Snowmama. "I was not, I am, I will not be, I will be." That was too deep for Jerry, and so was the snow. As she ran after the gliding Snowmama, she fell into a deep drift up to her chin. "Snowly, lend me a line, will you?" The Snowmama was signaling to one of the snowfishers. He came over, dropped his line, and pulled Jerry out like she were a carp under the ice. "Thanks, Snowly," said the Snowmama. "This is a good year for us, isn't it?" "It certainly is, Mama," said the Snowly. "If the weather holds, we should be here a week before we have to move on." "Move on?" said Jerry. "Like I said, the mystery of our history. Let me tell you how we happen." The Snowmama sat down next to a snowy figure on a snowy bench and invited Jerry to sit between them. She folded her tiny hands across her white lap and began. "Every year the snow falls and children build snowmen. They give us mittens and hats and ties and scarves and beautiful eyes like the ones you gave me out of green glass. Grown-ups think that snow people are just snow, but children know better than that. They whisper to us and tell us their secrets. They sit down on the ground and pull up their knees and lean their backs against us when they are sad. They love us, and so we come alive. Look around the park. You see how many snow people there are? Every year we meet again, because once we come alive, we live forever. You see us melt, and we do, but that's us moving on to the next place where it snows. And when the children roll the snow, there we are again." Jerry thought about this. "But if you melt," the Snowmama held up her hand and paused. "You can't melt our snows. Every snow person has a snow, and the snow goes on through time and space and frost and ice. And you'll find us with the polar bears and the elks and the reindeers. You'll find us waiting in white clouds to begin again. When the snow falls, we're not far behind." Jerry looked at the snow person sitting motionless on the bench beside her. "What about this one? Why isn't he saying anything?" The Snowmama shook her head. "He will never say anything. He's not a snowman, he's just snow. A grown-up made him, didn't believe in him, and didn't love him. So he didn't live." Jerry said, "My friend Nikki didn't love you. She thought you were too fat." "I am just right," said the Snowmama, "and you loved me. And so I was waiting for you in the garden." "What if I hadn't come back?" said Jerry. "I knew you would," said the Snowmama. "Love always comes back." "They've lit the fire," said Jerry. "I can see it, but the flames aren't orange or red. They're white." "Cold fire," said Snowmama. "That's no ordinary fire. Come on, let's go and join in." The fire was burning high, every flare and shoot of flame like a burst of snowflakes flying upward. But strangely, the white frosted branches didn't seem to be consumed. The cold fire burned through them in shimmering, transparent blasts. The snow people were standing or sitting around the campfire, colding their hands and feet. "Come and get colder," said the Snowmama. "I'm too cold already," said Jerry, who was shivering. "Well, look who's here," said one of the Snow Sisters. "Make way, make way." It was the Little Snowman, carrying one end of a pole hung with snowfish from the lake. The fish looked like they were made from crystal with pearly eyes. Snowly was carrying the other end of the pole. He was trying to direct the Little Snowman. "Now we suspend the pole over the fire like..." But the Little Snowman was so excited he walked right into the fire and right out the other side. "Wow," said Jerry, "he just got bigger." The Little Snowman had indeed got bigger, a lot bigger. "That's what happens in cold fire," explained the Snowmama. "In regular fire, things burn up so they get smaller, and then they disappear. Cold fire makes everything it touches bigger. Look at the fish." The fish were cooking, sizzling inside their snowflake scales, but now they were all twice the size. "Grab yourselves a fish, folks," said the Snow Fisher. "Eat up while they're cold." "Can I have 3?" yelled the big, Little Snowman. "That stupid Snowbuddy got slush for brains. We'll get him back to size. Hey, dude, swallow this." One of the Snow Sisters threw what looked like a pine cone at the rapidly growing, now enormous snowman. "Thanks, thanks, thanks," said the snowman, his snowy head already in the branches of the trees. "Will he be okay?" asked Jerry. "Sure he will," replied Snowmama. Worst comes to worst, he'll melt." "Will you melt?" said Jerry. "Yes, I will. I don't want you to melt." "You know what I'm thinking?" said the Snow Mama. "I'm thinking we should get you home." So the Snow Mama picked up Jerry, and they left the snow people singing winter songs round the campfire. "Let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. Winter wonderland. Nobody loves you like I love you. Ain't snow stopping us now." At the edge of the city park, the sound of singing died away, and all Jerry could hear was the wind blowing in the trees and the glide of the Snow Mama across the tracks. She was singing quietly to herself in a low, beautiful voice. "What's that song?" said Jerry. "Shakespeare. Fear no more the heat of the sun. It's a song of mourning. We sing it when we melt. Do you know about Shakespeare?" "It's a mystery," said the Snow Mama. Soon they were on Jerry's street and outside Jerry's home. The lights were still out. "Here," said the Snow Mama, "let me do the door. I'll freeze open the lock." Inside the house was cold and empty. There were dishes piled in the sink and on the counter. The floor was dirty. There was a Christmas tree in the corner of the room, but it had no decorations. "It will be Christmas in a few days," said the Snow Mama. "My dad left last Christmas," said Jerry. "I think my mom's upset." No one ever came to Jerry's house now, not to play or to visit. She was used to seeing it like this, the mess and the dirt and the sadness. Now she saw it through the Snow Mama's eyes. "Let's clean the place up together," said the Snow Mama. "You start with the dishes. I'll wash the floor." The Snow Mama's mopping method was unique. She melted a little bit of her snow skirts and spun the water round the room, shooing it straight out the door when it was too dirty. Soon the dishes were done too, and dried, and the floor was gleaming. "All right," said the Snow Mama. "Now collect all the dirty clothes and the sheets and the things from the bed, and we'll go to the laundrette." "It's closed," said Jerry, "and we don't have any money." "Trust me, I'm a snow woman." At the laundrette, the Snow Mama sprang the lock, and in they went. Operating the machines was easy. The Snow Mama prized the metal front from the token dispenser with her steel fingers. "Plenty here," she said, carefully refitting the door. While the laundry went around and around, Jerry felt herself getting warm and sleepy. She dreamed she was in a snowstorm of washing powder and that the sky was made of sheets. A drunk walking by, second bottle of vodka in his pocket, saw, or said he saw, a snowman doing the washing. "I'm telling you, she was 8 feet tall and built like a cube, and she had these scary green eyes and pitchforks for hands, and there was a little girl with her fast asleep on a couple of chairs." "You sure it wasn't Santa Claus in there with her?" "Ha ha ha ha." When Jerry woke up, all the laundry was washed and dried and folded, so she and the Snow Mama made their way home. "You see to the beds," said Snow Mama. "I'll be back very soon." Jerry made up nice new beds for herself and her mother. For the first time in ages, the beds looked like nice places to be, snug and warm and clean and inviting. She started to yawn. The clock said nearly 4 a.m. Just then, the Snow Mama returned, pushing a shopping cart piled with groceries: fruit, coffee, cakes, vegetables, bacon, eggs, milk, butter, bread, a turkey, and a plum pudding. The Snow Mama's red dog hoop mouth was a bigger, wider grin than ever. "I broke into Store's store." "But that's stealing." "Yes, it is, but that's wrong." "So is a child with nothing to eat. Here." And the Snow Mama boiled her some milk and made Jerry a big piece of cheese on toast. Jerry sat up in bed, eating and drinking and nearly asleep. "I have to go now," said the Snow Mama. "You can see me in Nicky's garden tomorrow." "I don't want you to go," said Jerry. "I need to be out in the cold." "Big good night. I'd give you a kiss, but I can't bend down." Jerry jumped up on the bed and kissed the Snow Mama. She felt a little bit of snow melt in her mouth. The next day, Jerry woke up hearing the front door open. She jumped out of bed. Her mother had come home. She looked tired and defeated. She didn't notice the beautiful clean kitchen or the sparkly windows or the warm, happy feeling of the house. Jerry put some bread in the toaster. "It's nearly Christmas," she said. I know, said her mother. I'll get you a present, I promise. We'll decorate the tree together. I just need to get some sleep. She stood up, went into the bedroom, and came back out again. Did you clean everything? I've never seen it look like this. I washed it all, and there's food. Look! Jerry's mother looked in the fridge and in the cupboards. Where did you get the money for all this food? The Snowmama did it. Jerry didn't say anything about the Snowmama stealing the food from store to store. Is she like a charity for Christmas? Yes, said Jerry. Jerry's mother looked nearly like her old self before Jerry's dad had left. I can't believe someone has helped us, been kind to us. Did she leave a number? Jerry shook her head. Her mother looked again at everything at their little house. This is like a miracle. It's a miracle, Jerry. Go out and play, and when you come back, I'll have made dinner, like I always did. Later on, Jerry opened the door to her house. Her home was clean and bright as she had left it. Delicious smells filled the kitchen. Jerry's mother was listening to carols on the radio. She had made a lasagna. They ate it together, and her mother was full of plans. I'll get a different job. No more nights. We'll keep this place nice. Just somebody helping us has made all the difference. Do you know that? There's more, but you'll have to read it yourself. Done.